These sweet magical mermaids look way more complicated than they actually are to make, and you only need a few very simple crafting supplies. So today I'm going to show you from beginning to end how to make these adorable wireframe fiber art mermaids. And with these mermaids, we have a new addition to my How Hard Is It Actually to Make series. This might be one of the easiest fiber art projects I've ever tried, but looking at it, I would have never guessed that. So today I'm going to show you exactly how these are made. And by the end, we'll see whether they're actually beginner friendly or just look easy on Pinterest. I do sell a mermaid making kit on Etsy, which I have linked in the bio below, but you do not need a kit to make these. They are made from a really simple supplies that you probably have in your craft cabinet at home if you have beginner level crafting stuff. So here are the craft supplies you're going to need for this adorable mermaid. I am going to pull them from my craft kit. You can hopefully pull them right from your closet. Some yarn for the hair, tail, and shirt, embroidery floss to go around the body, some pipe cleaners, 20mm wooden bead. I have some fishing line that I use to hang these. And these are glue dots. You could also use hot glue or maybe even normal glue. Normal glue is going to take a while to dry. I would say hot glue is going to be your best bet. I use glue dots because they're easy to send in a kit and make this more appropriate for all ages. And then I have these embellishments. These are not needed, but I think they're fun. So plenty of my mermaids just have yarn shirts that are just for my third color of this. But I do have embellishments in my kit, like these starfish shirts or some seashells. So if you're interested in the kit, this is some of the embellishments that come in it, some seashells, some starfish. I have a little oracle card, so you get a little fortune, my instruction booklet, and then some measuring cards. So these cards are 7 inches and 5.5 inches. So we're going to do 7 inches for the tail, 5.5 inches for the hair. Also, as you're going about gathering your craft supplies, I just want to make a quick point out. The different yarn is going to look different as hair, and I find that the acrylic hair looks a little bit nicer. So this one is actually 100% cotton and it just bunches more over time. And this is my child kit. If you want a more child-friendly version, you can also do something like this where you're not unraveling the yarn and it's just if you don't feel like you have the attention span to do these, because these do take, this craft will take about an hour to begin with. And if you're working with younger children who might not have the attention span for all of it, you don't have to unravel the yarn for that this flowy look. You can put it like that. Now, before I super dive into these, I am going to use my Sly scorecard to give these a beginning rating. And take in mind that I did design this kit, so I am 100% biased towards it. So, keep that in mind. I am going to be rating these projects on difficulty, time, value, relaxation, giftability, storage size, and if they are audiobook, Girls Diet friendly, or TV friendly. I'm Brittany, and on this channel, we test crafts to see if they're actually as difficult as they look. And today we're tackling these fiber art mermaids. So I have had adults make these, I have kids as young as 7s make these, and today we're going to find out if these are actually beginner friendly or if they're more difficult than they seem. One quick disclaimer, I did actually design these mermaids, so I know exactly how they're supposed to turn out, but I'm going to show you the supplies that go into them because none of this is a secret and they are actually very simple supplies. If you would rather gather the materials yourself, you absolutely can. And if you'd rather have everything measured out and ready to go, that's what I made the craft kits for. The only supplies you're going to need for this craft outside of the kit is a pair of scissors, so I am going to start with some purple yarn and I am going to wrap it around this 5.5 inch card about 13 times. If you do it more than that, it doesn't fit very well into this bead head. So wrap your card 13 times and then stop. I am going to tie a quick loop knot in my fishing line, and then I am just going to add my fishing line to my hair bundle right here. And then I am going to take my longer pipe cleaner. This one is cut to 6.5 inches, this one's cut to 5 inches, and I'm going to fold it in half so I know where the middle point is, and then I'm going to slide it around this bundle of yarn right here, and I'm just going to give this a strong twist. Then I can slide it off my cards, and I'm going to cut through all these hair fibers. Oops, but not my fishing line. Now I'm going to take my bead and I'm going to put both ends of my pipe cleaner through the top of my bead. And I'm going to pull it until that hair is inside my bead. So you can see right now, it's too thick. My pipe cleaner should fit all the way down in this bead, and I'm pulling and it's not. So this yarn is different thicknesses, and this yarn is a little too thick. So I'm just going to take out 2 strands and then I'm going to try again. Whoop, too far. Slide it back down. All right, now I have my head and my hair. And I am going to take this leftover pipe cleaner and I'm just going to make it kind of into a triangle. So the bigger you do this, the wider body you will have. And you can choose if you want kind of a wide body or kind of a slender body. This pipe cleaner, the wire is inside the fluff. So no matter how wide you do it, it is going to be a little bit narrower. but you can give your mermaid some shape based on that. So you're just going to fold it into a little triangle, and then we're going to wrap these bottoms. And I like to fold the sharp parts in so they're kind of hidden by the tail, because nobody wants to be poked by a mermaid. Now you're going to grab your 7.5-inch wrapping card, and we're going to do the same thing with the tail. So you're just going to wrap this as many times as you want around it. For the kits, I just use all of the yarn that I have. You probably want to wrap it 10 times or more. The more you have, the thicker tail you're going to have. Thicker yarn is going to be fluffier, so you're going to want to pay attention to how thick your yarn is and what kind of yarn you're using. And you just want enough for a decent mermaid tail. Now this time we're just going to snip it off at the end right from here. And you're going to take one piece and you're going to put it aside, because we are going to need this to tie the bottom of the tail. After you've cut your yarn bundle, we are going to unravel this yarn. And before you really deep dive into unraveling your yarn, let me just point you to differences in tails. So this one is completely unraveled, the hair and the tail, and it takes a little bit longer. You can also do a halfway where you braid the tail not unraveled, and then you just unravel it at the end to give it kind of this flared mermaid look, and then the hair can be unraveled at any point. Or if you are working with someone who's maybe a child or has a shorter attention span, you can leave yarn hair. Yarn hair is also great. So most yarn is made up of about 4 strands. You're just going to take it and you're going to turn it counterclockwise, and you should be able to see those strands kind of show up. I just dig my finger into the middle of it until I can see the different pieces. And I find one piece and I just gently hold the rest of this and try and wiggle this strand free. And there we go. There's my first strand. You can see it's got that nice kind of curly hair wave. And this is a little bit, it feels like deconstruction to me, kind of in like a nice and relaxing way, but you're just going to take time and you are going to pull apart all your strands of yarn. Now that I have this yarn tail all unraveled, I'm going to poke it through my triangle here. I'm just going to twist it so it's a little smaller, poke it through. And then I'm just going to try and find the midpoint of it, which feels about there. Squish these ends in. And then we're just going to do a 3-strand braid. So just get a little bit at the back and front. And I'm going to braid it loose at the top and tighter at the bottom to try and give it a little bit of that triangular mermaid tail look. And hopefully you have that leftover strand handy. So we're just going to tie this in a knot around the bottom to hold our braid in place. I'm going to double knot it. All right, mine's a little long, so I'm just going to snip it, and then I'm going to unravel these pieces so they blend in with the tail. And for this, I'm just starting at the top, kind of by the knot, and pulling it apart there. Now you're going to want your glue handy as we start building the body. So I'm going to put this other pipe cleaner through here as our arms. I am going to grab my embroidery floss, and I like to start at the neck. So I grab a glue dot or your hot glue gun, put a little dot on the back of your mermaid's neck, and then we're just going to stick the embroidery floss to it and go tight around this for a few times. So you do want to be pushing the pipe cleaner fluff down as you go. If you do kind of a messy wrap like this, it gets hard to hide all of it after, and you probably want it hidden. So now we're just going to start wrapping slowly around the neck, down towards the shoulders, and then I'm going to make an X shape across these shoulders a few times. So I'm going to go around just to secure those arms in place. These can be a little messier because you will be going over them a lot of times. And then once I have that, I'm going to wrap an arm, and I'm going to go until about right here at the end of my pipe cleaner so that I can fold it over and hide most of it. This is a good part for a friend or an audiobook, and you're just going to go slow wrapping. Again, you don't want to wrap like this because a lot of that pipe cleaner is going to show through. So take your time, push the pipe cleaner bristles down as you go. And then when I reach the end, I just have a little bit left. I'm going to fold that whole thing over to make a little hand for my mermaid. And then I'm going to wrap counterclockwise, hide the end of that hand, and then go back towards the body. I feel like the fluff around the arms is the hardest to hide. And I'm just going to repeat those steps on the other arm. All right, now I'm back to the center. I'm going to do my best to cover this middle, but I also am going to put a shirt on this mermaid, so there's a little bit more flexibility there. And I'm just trying to go around the tail, which is definitely getting in the way. And then once I feel good about her chest, I'm just going to slowly wind it down her body the same way that I did for those arms. If you need it to not slide down, you can have your kind of your fingers right up against it and you can build up more there. Like if you wanted a bigger bust for your mermaid, you could wrap it a bunch of times there by just having your fingers under it so that the floss doesn't slide down. And as you're doing this down the body, because I have those pipe cleaners split apart, you just don't want to wrap it too tight. You don't want to push your pipe cleaners in because then you get kind of like a bowed body. Just do kind of loose and just follow it down. All right, now here as I'm getting towards her hips, I am going to wrap it as low as I can. And then I'm going to put another glue dot. And if you have a little bit of pipe cleaner showing on the sides, that's all right. We're going to pull the tail over and hide them. But just wrap it as low as you can. So when you get to the end here, I am just going to snip my thread pretty close to the body. And then I am going to grab another one of my glue dots or a hot glue, put it here at the end to hold that strand. And you can also wrap a few times over this if you want to fold it and bunch it. Put that in. All right, so now I have the body of my mermaid. And I'm going to take a minute now that I've done all that wrapping, and I am going to unravel her hair, very similar to how I did the tail, except that on the head, you're going to want to start unraveling from the top instead of at the bottom. So I'm just poking my finger through, finding those strands, and separating them apart. All right, and now that thin, limp hair now has some volume and pizzazz, and we are at the final part, which is to give our mermaid a shirt. So there are so many ways you can do this, and it kind of is whatever speaks to you. So this one's just wrapped with floss and has some little cutouts added to it. Most of the ones that I do are just threads, but if you want to add shells, if you want to add, whatever your personality is pulling you towards, I'm just going to do some thread for her shirt. Blue dot on her back. And I am just wrapping however I'm feeling like wrapping, which is how I've done all of these other ones. They're all a little different. So just let your creativity have a hand here. And a glue dot to end it. So, how'd I do? Was this easier or harder than you were expecting? And now time for the Sly scorecard. So, difficulty, again, I did create this kit, so I am 100% biased. I would call this probably a 3 out of 5 for beginners of difficulty. I do not think it is particularly hard, but it is a little bit time consuming and repetitive, which is not a great fit for everyone. Again, there are ways to make it quicker. I don't think it is particularly difficult, but it is time consuming and does require some amount of focus. Time to complete, I did this one in about half an hour. I feel like when I first started, they were taking me closer to an hour to do. You are probably going to be somewhere in between there. As far as value, I don't know. I made the kit, so I am too biased to say. As far as relaxing, I think these are actually super relaxing. I would probably give them a 4 out of 5. I've obviously made many, and again, I'm biased. But I feel like the deconstruction art and then the reconstruction art, it just does something very nice and settles something in me. So yes, I feel like this is a very relaxing craft. Giftability, 5 out of 5. Look how absolutely beautiful and ethereal these are. They are soft, they feel nice to touch, and they just are gorgeous on a shelf. They're gorgeous hanging on a tree. They're gorgeous hanging on a rear view mirror. I feel like the craft kit itself is giftable, but I feel like the finished craft is just so sweet and beautiful. So yes, super giftable craft. Storage size, small. I mean, this itself is very, very small, and I feel like the crafts to make it also do not take up a lot of space, so great that way. As far as entertainment while you're doing the craft, I feel like this is audiobook and girls' night friendly, but you would have a hard time watching TV and being successful at this. So audiobook friendly, not very TV friendly. And with that, I'd love to know, is this something you'd make and who would you make it for? Again, if you want a full kit, I have a link in the description below. And if there's another craft you'd like me to test in my How Hard Is It Really series, leave me a comment for that below too. Until next time, over and out.